Hello. Hello and welcome to Around the Town with Mark. I am Mark Whalen, your host. We are always glad to have you tune in and visit with us. As usual, we have a really great show for you today. Well, I'm going to tell you how I've been feeling. I've been feeling submarine proud. Well, everyone knows, or you should know, that this year our region is celebrating Connecticut's Submarine Century. Yes, that's a great big deal. For 100 years now, we have had a submarine base present in our area. For 100 years, we have been the submarine capital of the world. And one way or another, all of us have been touched, regardless of whether it's large or small, by the presence of our military and the existence of our Navy submarine base. And of course, most importantly, those men and women who do so much to sacrifice for all of us. So we want to celebrate Connecticut's Submarine Century. Allow me to introduce you to my two very special guests today. I would like to introduce Captain Paul Whitescarver, the commanding officer of the Naval Submarine Base New London in Groton, Connecticut. And I would like to also introduce City of Groton Mayor Marian Galbraith. So welcome to you both.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
I'm just going to make a little personal message here that yes, everybody is touched in one way or the other. And I know my family is a Navy family. I've had several career uncles in the Navy. My mom was executive assistant at Electric Boat, and my stepdad was the executive vice president of engineering.
And was there when the Nautilus was built, correct?
He was. And I should have brought it as a prop today, but before he died, he gave me a piece of teak from the original deck of the Nautilus.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's a treasure. Yeah, I didn't even know that submarines had teak decks back then, but I guess they do, or
Yep.
did. Yeah. So Captain, would you start us off, please, and tell us a little bit about Submarine Century and what it means to all of us and, of course, to our Navy personnel.
Well, the Submarine Century is a year-long celebration that Governor Malloy started off and kicked off in October of 2015. And actually, Mayor Galbraith had the pleasure of kicking it off by riding the USS California in as pretty much the start of our celebration, because it was in 1915, in October of that year, that the G-class submarines came up the river, and then followed by the E-class, actually, and then a submarine tender. And then it was in 1916, June 21st, that Commander Yates Sterling was named the first commanding officer of the base. He not only was the commanding officer of the base, but for the submarine flotilla and for the submarine school that kicked off for our officer participants. So Governor Malloy designated it the Submarine Century. And we've been very blessed to have Bob Ross kind of helped us kick it off, the Executive Director for Military Affairs for the state. And then we got this hard-working mayor sitting next to me that really
Yes,
took the ball and ran with it. She's really been the stalwart for the celebration. So I wouldn't want to take anything away from her because she's got a lot to talk about.
Oh.
I just get the privilege of kind of helping out when I can, but Mayor
understand.
Galbraith has truly been the workhorse.
Well, you know, she does a very good job for the city in all kinds of aspects. So certainly she enjoys those perks of getting to ride on submarines and aircraft carriers and the like.
Working on this whole project has been really great. You know, as you know, things can pile up when you're mayor, but this is always lots of fun.
Well, I know that just about every event that's going on in our area has some component of Submarine Century in it. So Marian, would you please tell us a little bit about the city's role, more about the city's role in Connecticut Submarine Century?
Sure. So the city has joined with the town of Groton and the town of New London, city of New London, and the town of Ledyard, and many organizations to bring together the Connecticut Submarine Century Executive Committee. And together we have created a whole calendar of events. I would say the biggest amount are just about coming up in a couple of weeks here. We have lots of events. So we're working on putting together all of these events, including lecture series, and we have a birthday party coming up, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a little bit, and a submarine trail.
Oh,
And then we
yeah.
have organizations like Art on Groton Bank,
Yes.
which have kind of adopted the theme and are putting the celebration within their ordinary events. So on July 16th, when Art on Groton Bank takes place, there's going to be a submarine photo exhibit. We're going to have a submarines for kids to decorate, and we're going to have a submarine flag line, and so lots of different things.
And I gotta mention, we are also going to have compliments of Arc New London. We are going to have submarine-shaped cookies. So you can come to Art and Groton Bank on Saturday, July 16th, and celebrate, watch, look at photos, paint a submarine or eat a cookie. So anyway,
But
yeah,
that's a good example of how organizations have really embraced this.
Yeah, well, that's a wonderful thing, because then it gives an opportunity for us to celebrate Submarine Century, and it gives everybody an opportunity to have a little bit of fun and to, again, support our community, which is, as we all know, very, very important to all of us. And, so they deserve all the recognition and we can offer them. So Connecticut, the trail.
So the sub trail is a public art project. It's 20 fiberglass submarines, each 3 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet, which have been decorated by local artists and will be put in locations around southeastern Connecticut. We'll have an app so people can follow the trail and do their submarine proud picture with the hashtag submarine proud picture with one of the submarines. But it's a great project that was initiated by a teacher at Grasso Tech, an art teacher there. And she has really flown with it. We have sponsors for each of the subs, major sponsors.
Wonderful.
It's EB has sponsored too.
Great.
But we have
Thank you,
subs,
EB.
and so as part of Sub Base Week, we'll be unveiling those with the sponsors and with the artists. And then they'll be in the July 4th parade, and then they'll be located around southeastern Connecticut so people can visit them.
So people that are familiar with what was the trail for the Whale Trail can now identify that this is now going to be similar, but it's all going to be submarines.
Correct.
Which is going to be really a lot of fun.
Yes, it will be.
Now, Captain, there's one event that I heard of that maybe you could tell us a little bit about, because I have no engineering skills, and if I was on a submarine, the only thing I could do was cook, and I love to cook. And is there something called the Dining in the Deep? Is that an event that's coming up?
There are. Actually, it's going to be the second event of that series, and part of the state's cooperation with trying to make the military value of the base more efficient, or part of the things that Bob Ross has been trying to do is to make sure that the military value of the base stays very well to keep us out of the BRAC rounds.
Oh, yes.
Which, just to put everybody at ease, I don't think we really need to worry about that any time in the near future. But if there one came up, the state has invested quite a bit of money in the base. They developed a $40 million bond that they've kind of hit different projects, and one of those projects was to build a Virginia-class galley or a kitchen where the guys can practice making meals like they were on the submarine. So the first event we had, and I don't know if you were at that one or not. But,
my name was not drawn.
Yeah, it's sort of like a lottery, but they come in and the CSs or the culinary specialists, they create the meal in the galley, they serve the people that have won the lottery to come participate in this, and I think the lottery is through the library organization that we have. But the Dining in the Deep is a way that you can see how we eat on a submarine. So it's a kind of and it's pretty good food, I gotta admit. So it's a pretty good event.
I've always heard that military food is really great, and I've always been told, that, at least from my family, that they love military food. My uncle was on the Fulton, which was a submarine tender, way back in the old days when I was around here as a kid, and I got to go on there a couple of times and have some meals, and I remember it was delicious. And cherry Cokes, I remember cherry Cokes. They were very popular back then. So that's, again, another opportunity for us regular folks, or people that win the lottery, I guess, to experience a little bit of Navy life and life on a submarine, which I think is terrific. Yes. So Marian, tell us some more about the city and what your involvement is with Captain Whitescarver and the Navy.
So let me start by saying that we're going to mention lots of events as we go forward, and
Certainly.
rather than people trying to remember them, that the easiest way to find our calendar of events is to go to www.ctsubmarinecentury.com.
Okay, listen, everybody, listen to this. Get out your little pads and write it down.
www.ctsubmarinecentury.com.
All
And it
right.
has all the calendar of events. So what we've been doing on XCOM, and the city has taken part is this is to create this calendar, as we said. And the week of June 20th through 25th, we're calling Sub-Base Week, because right smack in there is the actual birthday date, the June 21st. So on June 20th, the Groton Public Library will be premiering their Monday movie matinee, which is Crash Dive. So they'll be showing that, and then they'll be doing that all summer long on Mondays. You know, grab your lunch, go over at noontime and watch a submarine movie.
Terrific.
On Tuesday, June 21st, we're going to have our birthday party.
Is there going to be a birthday cake?
Yeah. Oh, you should see the birthday.
I want to
Yeah.
see the birthday. I want a
Oh,
piece
there's
of the
so
birthday
much
cake.
to tell you about this event. So, on June 21st, from 4 to 7:30 at Washington Park, we are going to have a birthday party, and it is going to be the best birthday party ever. So we're going to have a DJ from 4 to 5:30, and then the cartels will be there. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have a beer garden. We're going to have Navy activities. We're going to have banners for people to sign so they can say happy birthday to the sub base and to the sub school. We're going to have one of our submarines from the sub trail there, a little teaser there. Our sponsors will be at the event. We're going to have the flag line so people can write their own message about why they're submarine proud. We'll have
Wow.
T-shirts. We'll have hats. We have the state troubadour will be singing the song that he wrote for this year called The Year of the Submarine. We'll all be singing Happy Birthday. It's just going to be a great big party, and everyone is welcome.
So everybody,
Everybody's
all of our
welcome.
audience, everybody can go. So,
Absolutely free admission. Of course, you know, if you want to buy your food and your beer, you
Right.
need to do that. But it's free admission. Enjoy the music. Come on down. Little bit of speechifying in there, but
Oh,
mostly
well, you
just
gotta have a
lots
little
of
bit of
fun.
that.
Mostly lots of fun. Lieutenant Governor Nancy Wyman's coming down.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
that's going to be quite a bash.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I might have to put that on my calendar.
And then just when we think we're exhausted from that, the next day, the Coast Guard is going to do a concert series at Eastern Point Beach. It's their first of 4 this summer for the Submarine Century, and they will be doing a birthday concert for the submarine base at Eastern Point Beach, 7 o'clock.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
Thursday, we have the Submarine Force Museum and Library is going to have activities all day long. Lectures, activities, all kinds of things, STEM activities for kids.
And again, this is open for everybody?
Open for
everybody.
everybody. The only event that isn't open for everybody, it's kind of an invitation only, although, you know, people can let me know if they're really interested, is an unveiling. So on the 24th, up at Grasso Tech, we'll unveil to the sponsors and the artists have seen them, but not everybody's. But we will unveil the submarines to the sponsors.
Oh, terrific.
And then Saturday, we finish off the week with the Mystic Schooners are going to be doing a special game at Washington Park for Navy Appreciation. So
And this is all in 1 week?
this is 1 week, sub-base week.
Whoa.
I'm going to be tired after that.
You're going to be
you're gonna
really
be
tired. You already planned a
be tired.
vacation or something, I hope, or a little getaway for yourself?
But yeah, so we're very excited about that. But you know, that's 1 week out of a year. So
Yeah.
there's been a lecture series that's been going on. The Groton Public Library has worked with other library associations to put that together. They've been held at the Groton Public Library at Avery Point, and the captain has been going to different libraries, and not just the captain, but some of the
Yeah.
other presenters.
In fact, I'm giving one this evening at Otis Library in Norwich at 6:30, I think.
Oh, so you're sort of on a not a lecture tour, but a speech tour. Is it
It's
a
sort of
little
like
bit
it's a
like
way in which we can tell everybody about submarines and what they have meant to the community for the last 100 years.
well, which,
And the base.
yep, yep. Now, I know that there's some books out.
Yes.
And are those going to be for sale at any of these events, or how can someone tell us a little bit about what their availability is and how people can learn about those?
So the day has put together a book called The
Yep.
First and Finest, and it's about the sub-base. It's a great book. It has, not only does it have history, but some fabulous pictures. I mean, I'm not just saying that I only look at pictures, but I really like the pictures. That's available through the day, but we also have it at different events, and it will be at Art on Groton Bank. And probably we should have, I didn't even think of that, but we should probably have copies of that for the June 21st birthday party.
In fact,
I think so.
I think the day they're half price now. I don't know if you've seen the advertisement in the day, the newspaper. So they're you can still get them. They're out there.
All right, everyone, listen, you heard it here. Half price. People love that.
And I didn't even make that up. I just read it.
Oh, well, people love half price and people love free. So I think that'll get a lot of people's attention. And I've seen the book, and it's very beautiful. And it's certainly worth investing in that book, whether it's full price or half price. I think it's a beautiful book.
And we also don't want to leave out the really important contribution of electric boats. So one of the lecture series that was really well attended last night was about electric boat. And the nice thing is that these lectures are have been filmed and are available through the Groton Public Library. You can go to their website and you can watch them from home, just on your computer. So that's really nice. And so the electric boats contribution is very much highlighted there.
Well, good, because yes, we can't forget electric boat. They are a huge force in our community, as well as the Navy base, of course. And they need each other.
Well, it's all about those people that have in the past and that still do design, build, and operate submarines. So I get to operate them, which is the fun part. But the people that design and build them, deserve a great deal of credit for making sure that the southeastern part of the state is really an economic driver for the state and the local community.
So Submarine Century is keeping both of you very, very busy this year, but it sounds like it's a lot of fun.
It is. It's been great. And I just want to add a little bit about the electric boat. One of the nice things about our website is that it's not just the events and the things that are going on, but there's a section on profiles. And there are profiles of different submariners, particularly from World War II, but there's also a whole section. Barbara Nagy last year did, through the Connecticut Humanities Council, a project on electric boat and interviewed people from the heyday of electric boat. And all of those, she's allowed us to put all of those on our website. So, it was an exhibit at the Groton Public Library, but now it's out there for everyone to read, and it really gives a great glimpse into life at Electric Boat.
I know there's a lot of people in our community that would really be interested and love to see that.
And probably will recognize a lot of the names.
They would, and I've got to share that with my mother, because I'm sure she would recognize a lot of those names and faces.
That's right.
And it would be great visiting back all the people that have contributed so much to both Electric Boat and to our submariners and the submarine base. So that's terrific. It's always great to. I see at a lot of the events that I go to, and I see people that I grew up with and their families and their fathers and stuff, and they just beam when you ask them about a little bit about their history with Electric Boat or on a submarine, and they love to talk about that.
Yeah, we really are submarine proud.
Yeah, we are. We are. We definitely are. Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to mention about this is that any proceeds that come out of this year are going, the proceeds from Subtrail, the proceeds from the challenge coins that we have, and the lapel pins, all of those proceeds are going.
Lapel pin?
The lapel pin, yep,
right
you've
here.
got it.
Yep, another one right over here. Yep, there we go. Of course, the captain has all kinds of pins, but we're not fortunate to have all those.
Is that all those proceeds are going to go to a permanent monument to honor the men and women who design, build, and serve on submarines, and that's the USS Groton sail. So we are bringing that back and going to establish that as a public monument to honor these people. So any proceeds that come from Connecticut Submarine Century are being donated to that effort.
To bring that sail back into Groton.
And to have it established as a monument, yep.
And how is that project going?
Well, we have a really wonderful board of directors and a steering committee right now, and we are working on it. We're moving ahead.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Has a location been chosen yet, or are you still working on a location?
We believe we have a property. We still have to work on acquisition, so I'm not going to say where it is right now.
Okay.
But I
and
think
here-
people will
and
be
here
very
I was-
happy with it.
Here I was hoping to get a scoop. Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe next time.
Next time.
Yeah, that's terrific. So what's next? We've got all these big events coming up. How is there going to be like a big bash at the end of the year?
Well, there are other bashes along the way. So there's a gala August 19th, I believe, that's going to take place over at the airport. So that's a nice event.
I think we hijacked that event, didn't we?
I think so.
No pun on terms, but
But that is going to be an event for this. So what we have ahead of us is still more events. In September, there's going to be a sub-box derby. Not the soapbox derby,
Yeah.
the sub-box derby, which is being run by somebody from the sub school, Patrick Core. So
Tell me a little bit more about that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
So we're going to close Mitchell Street from the top of the hill down to the bottom of Washington Park, and people can submit, can do actual sub-box derby cars, that meet all the qualifications. And this will be a qualifying event for the national championship, so that if people, wish to pursue that, they can do that. But there's also going to be a category for subs.
I was going to say, will
People
we be
can
able?
make subs and get in a sub and.
That's what I want to know.
Well,
Yeah,
you need to make your own.
Oh, okay.
But yes, people can enter and enter their submarine, their sub, and go on down the hill, and it has to have brakes.
Yeah, I would think that would be a good thing. That sounds like another fun
Yeah.
event. That's. I mean, all of these things are so exciting.
Yes.
And again, free, available.
Yep.
Everybody, remember, look on the website, and
And we're on Facebook too. So a lot of our events we promote on Facebook just before they happen. But what's really great about the Facebook page is that we've not only been able to capture a lot of the hashtag Submarine Proud social media campaign, but when posts go up, it's amazing how many people watch the post. That it just shows how proud people are of the Navy. I went to the sub school to speak, and the whole sub school did the Sailor's Creed, and I've never posted anything that went that fast around to everybody. It was amazing that within just hours, thousands of people had gone to see that, and it's and we continue to have that kind of response to the things that are happening.
that's great. And Captain, tell me all of the men and women that we've been talking about that work at the Navy base that are with us, they must be very proud of having Submarine Century happen this year.
oh, you bet they are. In fact, sometimes people fail to realize the number of people that do work on the base. So there's roughly 6,500 active duty and military families on the base, and then you add another 3,500 civilian employees. So at any one time, there are 10,000 people that work on the base. So it's quite a number. And then, the magnitude of the base is huge. It's 680 acres. We kind of straddle both Groton and Ledyard on both sides of the base. And the people on the base, when I go and talk to them about all the things that the mayor and the XCOM have put together, they are very excited about participating in a lot of the events. So it's great for all the sailors to know that the local community really takes them into their arms and cares for them. In fact, this morning I was at a March of Dimes baby shower event that was sponsored by the Connecticut chapter for March of Dimes. It's sponsored by a couple of local business organizations, Phillips and a couple other folks. But what an event that was. So I got to tell you that the community that surrounds the base is different than any other community I've been associated with in the Navy. And I've been stationed in Washington State and Virginia, down in Norfolk and out in Monterey. So it's quite the place to come to work, and I'm glad that I got the privilege of being the base commander here. So it's a lot of fun since I've been here.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that the people that are involved at the base, those that work and toil there and do so much for us, that they understand how much we really, truly appreciate what they do for us. And it's the least that we can do to show them how much we appreciate all of that by having all these wonderful events and promoting Submarine Century. So I'm sure that they're proud every single day, whether it's Submarine Century or not, but this is an extra way that we can show them how much they mean to all of us. And I'm sure, Marian, in your job, that's something that you get a great deal of satisfaction out of.
Yes, you know, I have to say, you know, I think our community is so fortunate to have the submariners and their families. And I'm just going to give an example because I know you've heard me talk about, in so many ways, how the submariners and their families add to our community. But, you know, we're getting ready for this water taxi. So we have a landing.
Oh, yes, we got to talk about
that
the water
needs to be
taxi.
cleaned up. And so the person who's organizing the volunteers, Susan Bailey had been doing it, but Cricket, who is the wife of one of the submariners who's out to sea right now, has kind of taken that on, and she has been organizing not the submariners, the local community to get out and weed. So we were out there weeding yesterday and cleaning up. But that's just one example of so many ways that submariners and their spouses and their children contribute. You can look at any organization in our area, and they've all benefited.
Well, I can tell you, as someone who has chaired a lot of events in the city of Groton, that we rely a great deal on the Navy volunteers that come to help us at these events. And I don't know of a better group of men and women that come work these events, and they have a good time, they smile, they laugh. And last year at our Thames Street block party, we had a pie eating contest. And we had the Navy personnel there, and that pie contest was the hit of the entire day. And so it was just so much fun. And so yes, I know personally that these young men and women, they work hard and they do a lot.
Yep.
Even on their free time, they do a lot for us. So as we're nearing down, any other final remarks that either of you have that you'd like our viewers to know about Submarine Century?
I would just say, please visit our website, visit our Facebook page, find out what's going on, and please join in the celebration. We really would like to have you there, and we really want to show our appreciation for the sub base and sub school.
And Mark, thanks for having us on. I know that this goes a long way to show the community and also the Navy families around here how much the local community really loves us here. So we really appreciate that.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
well, I want to
Mark.
thank you both for being my guests today. And I want to thank our audience for being and tuning in with us. Again, it is Connecticut Submarine Century. We have a lot to be proud of, and we have a lot of support that we want to give those who support us. As you've heard today, there are all kinds of events happening all summer long into the fall. Most of them are all open to the public. They are free. So please visit these websites, find out about these events, put them on your calendar, go have fun, but by going to these events, you're also showing your support to all our military people who do so much for all of you, all of us here. So again, thank you both for being here. Thank you for talking about Submarine Century and our wonderful Naval Submarine Base, which we, of course, know is a very, very important part of our community. I want to thank you for tuning in to Around the Town with Mark. We hope you will come back and visit us often, and you just have a wonderful summer until we see you next time. Goodbye.